These kinds of injuries are known in the medical profession as musculoskeletal disorders and are among the most common recreational and occupational illnesses in the UK. The impact to both individuals and business is considerable.
I'm Philip Sell, I'm a spinal surgeon. I work at Leicester Royal Infirmary and also at Queen's Medical Centre, Nottingham. I've been a spinal surgeon for about 15 years now, and I'm also Secretary of the British Association of Spine Surgeons. I'm on the executive of the European Spine Society. I carry out probably 200-250 spinal operations per year, but actually I see probably about 2,500 patients a year, so only a small number of patients that I see actually require surgery. Almost everyone will experience some back pain at one time or another, and some studies have been carried out that suggest that about 56% of the population in any one year will experience back pain. So it's a very high number of people have back pain.
Everyone is individual, both emotionally and physically. We come in different sizes and shapes, have varying levels of physical strength, and are able to cope with different levels of stress. However, many of the things we have to do in life ignore these differences. Injuries occur when we put too much stress on a part or various parts of our bodies. Each of us has to adapt the way we do things to best fit our abilities and the requirement of the job in hand. These changes may be tiny, but the difference it can make may save us from much unnecessary pain and discomfort. At work, there are laws and guidelines that are designed to protect us, the Health and Safety at Work Act, for example. But what about the time we're not at work? In trying to minimise or prevent musculoskeletal problems, we need to change the basic way we approach everything, both at home as well as at work. Now that sounds pretty drastic, but it needn't be. It's simply a matter of thinking, taking a moment and assessing the personal risk, whatever you're doing. Over time this will become second nature, intuitive even, just as you already look both ways while crossing a road. Is it worth the effort? Simply ask someone you know who suffered from serious back pain for the answer.
I couldn't move out of the house for, like I say, nearly 4 months. I could barely walk up the road in the village where I live. I couldn't drive. If I tried to be a passenger in the car, I couldn't go more than 10 or 15 minutes without wanting to get out of the car.
I was very depressed towards the end of it. You lose your self-confidence, your self-esteem, and you also felt pretty useless. I felt old before my time. It had a large impact on my life.
I had a badly prolapsed disc back in May 2001. I had a 2-week episode of a very sore back and unfortunately had to be admitted to hospital where I had an emergency discectomy, and unfortunately it didn't go according to plan, and I eventually, instead of the 10 days I was expecting to be in hospital, I spent 7 months in hospital and came out not being able to walk, not being able to sit, and not being able to function at all.
I'm sure most people would tell you, as with all areas of health and well-being, the fitter you are, the lower the risk of health problems. Better muscle tone means you'll find it easier to maintain better posture, which will reduce the risk of anything adverse happening to you. If it does, then being fit usually means you'll recover more quickly. Common problems such as back pain, sprains and strains are often caused and irritated by 4 principal issues: force, posture, repetition and stress. So before you start any task, just stop and take a moment to consider these 4 things. If you need to use force, like pushing or lifting, think how much force you will need. Are there any tools that can make the task easier, or can anyone help you? Posture is all about the position of your body during the task. Do you know what the best position for the task is? Are you going to remain in that position for a long time? Can you make yourself more comfortable or adapt the environment to suit you? Repetition is about how many times you will be performing the task. Are you performing the same task over and over again for long periods? Typing's a good example. Will you be using the same muscles for long periods? Will you need regular breaks? Are you using the correct action? You should also ask yourself how often you perform the task. Is it something you do every day and are familiar with, Or is it something you only do occasionally and so need to take particular care? Stress covers any factors that can make the task more difficult. And these can be divided into two categories: environmental and physical. For example, if you're working outside, poor weather conditions can mean your body's cold and damp, which can lead to aches and pains. But stress can also include physical and mental stresses which lead to tension even before you begin working. Remember, force, posture, repetition, stress.